Gresham in the 66 and the 73 of Brent Raymer goes sideways. Raymer in the grass, Gresham back up on the racetrack.
Michael, you called it. With these hot conditions here, we haven't had a day race here in several years. Never on this newer surface, the reconfigured surface. We've had a lot of attrition. Brent Raymer gets a little bit loose. Max really with nowhere to go was right behind him, and he's just going to carry each other right into the infield here.
Another couple of trucks.
Whoa, look at Max get airborne.
Across that quarter-mile racetrack right in the infield here.
Another couple of trucks that were ahead of Austin Dillon. He's just going to keep creeping up toward that.
World Truck Series win and where they're running now.
Oh, we got a spinner on the front straightaway. He's going to hit the wall. Golly.
66, Justin Marks. Hard into that inside wall. So the front end of his truck totaled.
And that's a shame. You come to Iowa and figure out a way to find the only wall that doesn't have safer barrier on it. He broke that wall.
Yeah, they may have to some repairs to that wall.
Hard into that inside wall.
Slid a long way too to get there. See, it's knocked the breath out of
Yeah, pretty good lick there for Justin.
What do you figure he's running when he gets to that wall? Phil, about 100 miles an hour?
I would say at least 100 miles an hour. Probably speeds of upwards of 150 miles an hour in the straightaway. But obviously sliding like that, he scrubbed off a lot of speed. But boy, that thing hits about as square as it can hit.
You can see how much damage it did to that truck and the wall. Luckily, it gave a little. Just think that took away some of the shock to Justin's body.
Kind of active.
Inside, excessive braking certainly did that. So no question about it, as we saw that. And the yellow is back out here at Martinsville.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick around in the 60. So that brings out the third caution.
Looks like the left rear tire is certainly low. Don't know if it's flat or not.
Oh, and Jeff Agnew, huge damage to the front of that truck.
Been a rough day for Agnew.
Yeah, wow. See what happens here. You see a little bit of contact right here between John West Townley and the 09. He gets a little bit loose, and then he moves up into the 60. And that's his chain reaction. You see Dakota Armstrong with a lot of damage as well in the 98 truck. Watch the chain reaction now.
That was a case too, Phil. You talk about that curb. I think John West caught a bit of the curb, tossed him side.
There was a contact. Looked like Johanna Long got into Jason really early to be making contact like that. Again, everyone fights for the same real estate, but you got to give each other a little bit of room.
And she just wasn't able to stay off of Jason. Maybe Jason entered a little bit lower than she anticipated, Phil, but you're right. First corner, first lap, there's a lot of room. We've talked about all the room that's over to the left, how low you can go. See what you see from Tom Bodon's on board. You could see Johanna, she just kind of wandered up the track when they got to the first turn and took Jason out.
Almost looked like maybe she got a little bit loose because that put her up about a half a lane higher than she normally would have been there. Here's Timothy racing with a 32 of Steve Arpin. They get down to turn number 1. They're probably going to make a little contact right here. See Timothy gets sideways and has to chase the truck up the hill. He makes contact. Around he goes. Arpin does a nice job saving that truck.
Justin Lofton also in the 6 gets by cleanly.
That's may have been where the contact with the 22 came. Maybe the 6 of Justin Lofton, the 22 of Joey Coulter may have come together over there.
Sideways trying to do it. We saw Parker Kligerman try the tire strategy to get some track position, maybe win this thing if it rained just past halfway. That hasn't worked, Phil. And look at the 66 truck. He's driven right up and is battling hard with Kligerman.
18-year-old Ross Chastain from Florida. This is his first ever Camping World Truck Series race, knocking on the door of the top 10.
And his family grows watermelons down in Florida.
Like 350 acres of watermelons.
So if you wonder, does he just really like watermelons? Is that why it's on the side of his truck?
I think so.
I think he really does.
Yes, he does, and it runs in the family.
And look at the move he's making. Man, 18 years old. This is fun.
Pass Parker Kligerman. So he takes a spot away from Kligerman, moves up into the 11th position. Now Kligerman back to the bottom of the racetrack. Miguel Paludo just behind him in the 7th.
I think what this means right now is 30 laps on tires makes a difference. 30 more laps on your tires makes a little bit of a difference.
A ton of difference, and it seems like the further we go, the worse it's getting. See Kligerman there battling on the inside of young Ross Chastain. This is a great sign. We talk about our top 10 having 5 guys that are less than 21 years old in it. Then you got a cat like Ross Chastain shows up, 18 years old. He's running up toward the top 10. There's a lot of future stars in the Truck Series right now.
We're going to try to hold them off, but that's the distance right there. You saw the 31 flash under the screen, and there's the 17.
I'm nervous. Heck, I don't even have a dog in the fight, and I'm nervous. Timothy Peters is racing toward a checkered flag.
How about this? Austin Dillon trying to stay in front of the 7 of Miguel Paludo, as well as that 66. What an impressive performance Ross Chastain has done in that 66 tonight.
He had to pit for fuel. If Austin Dillon can make it to the end and he ends up with about a 5th or a 6th place finish, that may be a championship move here.
How about young Ross Chastain finishing with a top 10 finish in his first start in the Camping World Truck Series? He is standing by with Hermie Sadler.
Well, you're right, Rick. To come to a place like Lucas Oil Raceway, your first ever start, get a top 10. First of all, congratulations on a solid debut here in the Camping World Truck Series.
Thank you, sir. Means a lot.
Don't use sir, please. My dad's at home.
Well, I have a lot of respect, but no, we ran a good race. Just got to get a little better strategy next time. Followed our teammate, 3rd truck to pit. Good lap times, good team effort. 5 more laps, been 3rd.
Well, you guys did some testing, I heard, at Motor Mile Speedway. The next question is, after you get a top 10 finish, when can we expect to see you again, and what needs to take place for you to get back on the racetrack for another start?
That's a really good question. This is a 1-race deal with Turn 1 Racing. We're really happy here. Really hope we can put something together. Really like the crew and Doug and everybody. Just really I hope we can work this out and get everything going. Looking bright. So that's but nothing planned. So we'll see.
Well, that's Ross Chastain. He told me they were hoping for a top 20 finish. He comes on with a solid top 10 in his debut start.
Day breaks in a single man with 1 hammer and 2 hands. He begins with a nail in